back to the Today Show. I'm your host, Divya Balendra. Today's Monday, and you know what that means? It's Mythical Monday! Today we're going to be looking at the Celtic creation myth. And without further ado, let's welcome our first guest, Ioka! It's great to have you here with us today.
It's my pleasure.
So tell me, you were the first being on Earth, right?
Yes, I was created from the foam, where the sea met the land.
Sea foam? Stop horsing around. Anyhow, seeing that you were the first being on Earth, how on earth did you survive?
Well, it was tough, but I managed to find the strong, sturdy oak near the shore. And I fed from the berries of that tree.
So what happened afterward?
Well, the seeds in the berries transformed within me, and let's just say I gave birth to my first son, Cernius. It hurt a lot, like any other childbirth. The pain was so unbearable that I ended up ripping a piece of bark off the tree and throwing it into the ocean. And that bark turned into the giants of the deep.
So, hold on, this sounds messed up. You're saying that your children were an accident?
Yeah, well, you know, I'd never planned for it. It just popped out.
That's interesting. Well, I hope it all worked out well in the end. Anyhow, there you have it, folks. Give a big round of applause for Ioka, the mother of all gods. So, for our next guest on Mythical Monday, it is none other than Cernino. So, tell me a little bit about your family. It's quite a long tale, is it not?
Oh, well, yeah, I was feeling quite lonely, and as you would already know, the giants were numerous, and at the beginning it was only Ioka and I. One night the stars were shining bright. It was beautiful. The moon cast a romantic glow on the earthly soil. Then I looked into her eyes. She was the most beautiful horse that I have ever seen. I approached her slowly. With every step I took, my heart skipped a beat, and then we were face to face. I felt her warm breath on my neck. It smelled like carrots. And then her powerful legs tensed.
Whoa. Let's keep it PG, shall we?
Then came her children, Eponus, Tyrannus, Tatatus, and Epona.
So it's a pity they couldn't be with us today. Tell us a little bit about them.
Well, Epona, she created animals along with me, but she only created horses, especially after Ioka went back to the sea. These stallions were a remembrance.
You created animals too?
Well, of course. The oak tree was taken to create the animals.
So, I see. What about the others then?
Well, Tatatus, he was the archer of the family, using the oak tree to make weapons such as bows, arrows, and clubs. Tyrannus, he was the savage, throwing his thunderbolts made from the limbs of the tree. All the poor animals would run in fright, with the ground shaking and the grass burning. And then Eponus, he was the docile child. He took the limbs of the tree to create a harp, bringing harmonious melodies to the world. All in all, we were a happy family.
So it really does sound like a happily ever after.
But it wasn't like that for long.
How so do you mean?
We out.
Well, that was a very unexpected leaf of Cerninos. Next we will be having the head giant. So, how are you doing?
It's nice to meet you.
Yes. Now, tell me, what is your story? It seems like you weren't really part of the action, if you will.
Well, after we were transformed from the bar, we lived on the ocean floor, isolated from the greedy gods.
Greedy? The gods?
Oh, definitely. Using the oak tree to make whatever they wanted. Forest, animals, humans to worship them. Pfft, despicable.
Seems like you really had a hatred for them.
Well, it wasn't just me. It was all of the other giants too. We despised them. So we planned to take the land from under the water.
And I'm guessing that you failed that.
Well, I mean, we would have, conquered them, but Tetra warned the gods of our attack. Nevertheless, it was an intense battle, but we were inevitably pushed back into the deep water. Afterward, Tetra's bound us to the sea, never to return. But those of us who got out were called the Famwar and vowed to take revenge once more.
Wait, you mentioned Tetra. Who's that?
Oh, Ioka didn't tell you?
Apparently not.
Well, after giving birth to the first couple of gods, Since she was created from sea foam, she returned to the sea and turned into Tethra.
I see. So it wasn't a happy ending after all, at least for you. Well, everyone, let's give us a round of applause for the head giant. And last but not least, we have one of our own, the humans.
It's great to be here.
So tell me, how were you brought into this world?
Well, you see, the gods, they wanted someone to command, someone to worship them. So they took wood from the great oak tree and they created us humans.
So these are the stories that your ancestors are telling you?
Stories? How could you say that? This is the truth behind our very existence. I can't even imagine what they must have experienced being the first beings on Earth. But the happiness, it didn't last for long because of the war between the gods and the giants.
Oh yes, the war. How on earth did your ancestors survive?
Oh, the war. It was so devastating. There was bloodshed, and so many of us were slaughtered. So we decided to hide under a tree. And we thought it was over. We thought we would die. But suddenly we saw a bright light.
Oh my god, what happened after?
So the light grew brighter and it gave us hope. And then we saw her, the great goddess Epona. And she saved the last two survivors, a man and a woman, from the disasters caused by the war. And these humans were able to continue the human race. And it's all thanks to Epona. We are so grateful to her.
Wow, what a story. Thank you so much for sharing this with us.
Oh, the pleasure is all mine.
And this wraps up the end of Mythical Monday. Thank you to all that took the time to visit. I'm your host, Divya Balendra, and we'll see you next week with a new episode on the Today Show.